Thank you for watching Meatsauce Monty. I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Paul Meatsauce Lambert. Did you know that we are the top-rated sports talk show on the CW Twin Cities?
We are?
We are, #1.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
The credit all goes to you.
Oh no, to you. You're the big name. You're what
You're
everybody wants to see.
You could dub my body into this show because I say the same thing over and over again.
Every week?
Every week.
I'll just show up and we'll green
Trust
screen.
Me, my bit's running dry. Everything has a
What are you talking about?
I'm
we're
like
peaking.
old milk in the back of the fridge. I've run dry. I'm sour. You don't need me anymore. It's all over but the crying.
No, see, you are the milk that people keep going to the store to get.
Well,
see your analogy. You're not just the one carton that's sitting
thank
there.
you. You're very kind.
You're in fact the milk. You're at the back of the store that people come to the store and are willing to walk through the aisles. It's on the top of the list.
I think I still have meat in the back of my mouth.
Yeah, you floss. That'll help.
I can't. They're all one piece.
Oh really?
Yeah.
See, you've got very nice teeth.
Yeah.
But they're
underneath them. It looks like Bat Boy. See?
Yeah.
I use that joke all the time.
But it works every time for me anyway. The people at home, I can't say.
God, why is he on TV? He's so stupid.
That's your Sid Hartman impression, I think, isn't it?
Or Bobcat Goldthwait. Who?
They're the same.
I have no idea. Who the hell's Bobcat?
What would you say Bobcat Goldthwait would be best known for?
Ski school?
See, I would have said Police Academy. Was it 4?
Is he in ski school or ski patrol?
Todd, yeah, let's say.
Of course Todd knows, because
Todd
some
knows.
chick flashes the camera. Todd, of course. 80s nudity, go to Todd.
It's his screensaver on his phone.
Yeah, mine too. No, the screen.
We might be setting a record tonight for how long we've gone before we actually get to the content of our show.
We could do 28 minutes of this nonsense, just free show.
You know what? Then what did I do all this production for? This whole sheet of paper.
Do what I do. Nothing.
Yeah, just keep talking.
Wing it. Yeah, eventually it'll come together and make sense. It's like making scrambled eggs.
You gotta break a few and.
No, it's all scrambled. You can't unscramble scrambled eggs.
Do you like eggs?
I love eggs.
I do too.
Protein, man.
With toast?
I don't eat a lot of toast.
Yeah, you're anti-carb.
Well,
by the way, your wardrobe choice, look at this.
On.
Look at that. It's like
this used to fit.
We could be like the Jenny Craig commercial. You're like, this is
your
what I
mom's Jenny Craig.
Hey, now that was inappropriate.
Well, no, that means she's lost a lot of weight and looks great.
You meant it in a totally different way.
If I meant it mean, I would have said your mom's Roseanne Barr.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't mean it in a mean way. I like your mom. I met her.
Yes, that's right. She was very nice.
Yeah, she's very nice.
Week 1.
She puts up with you. She has to be great.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so now we'll finally get to.
That was week 1.
Yes, that she was here.
Man,
see, look, you're.
I feel like Wilson on Castaway.
I'm going to keep trying to distract so we don't get to the content.
Well, I don't care.
It was week 1. My parents were sitting right there among the hundreds of people that were.
I can't believe how many people keep showing up for this.
Your parents came later in the season.
Constantine's here, right there.
Constantine, Samsonite.
Yeah, I was way off.
Yeah, Samsonite. Who else do we have here? Are there any other? How many nicknames? The guy from Thunder from Down Under.
Ski Club Pat's there. Yeah. Hot Ass Randy's over there. We can't say that on the CW.
No,
Whoops.
I think it's okay. I think Todd's friend that he met in the splash zone at Thunder from Down Under. Wasn't it Thor?
Theodore?
It was Thor. Theodore.
No.
Theodore.
He saw Thor's hammer later. But
speaking of Thor's hammer, you wanted me to get the Avengers Infinity War trailer.
So
before we get to anything of substance,
I
let's get
said
this out there.
that I like that trailer. I think that trailer's great. And then you said it. You're right. I didn't think you'd like that stuff. I love that stuff because it's mindless.
Oh.
I love that. Like,
so all the Marvel stuff.
A Few Good Men, a little too highbrow for me.
Okay, you're going really old for that.
I love that movie, but is it Infinity Wars or Xfinity Wars?
I think it's Infinity Wars.
Okay,
I think
so
Xfinity is more like a
cable company.
Yeah.
It's like DirecTV versus cable.
They're sponsoring
it. That'd be cool.
The Avengers Xfinity by Comcast.
Right.
By the way, does Comcast CW? If there's no deal there, we're sorry. We'll cut that out, but. I think we'll keep
Comcast
it anyway.
Wales, DirecTV Wales, Hulu Wales.
Yeah, CW Wales.
You get live TV on Hulu.
YouTube Wales. We have our own YouTube channel. It's free.
Yeah, YouTube Wales at all Wales.
It's got the interweb.
Let's get to this before I say something and offend every person we have.
Do you want to go back to your Marvel Comics movie guy?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, all of them? No.
Yeah, I haven't seen Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I've seen Doctor Stranger.
Yeah, I'm sure that
but
was...
But I haven't seen...
I'm sure it was very well
that
acted.
One. There's a couple of them I haven't seen, but... The Avengers movies are great.
You get it. Yeah,
all the Iron Man movies are. The second one's kind of hideous.
Hey, Captain America or Iron Man? Who would you go for?
Well, what's up?
There. See, some of our fans right there.
Yep, that's what I look like.
You're
Sorry
distracting
to disappoint.
him.
What were you saying?
Iron Man or
Iron
Captain
Man.
America?
Captain America has a shield.
No. Captain America
no one's tough with a
is
shield.
integrity. He is personal character. He's grit.
No.
He's World War II tiebacks. Red Skull. Come on.
No, he doesn't have a cool weapon.
Oh.
Is Red Skull a bad guy?
Yeah, Red Skull I think was in the movie that you saw too.
Is he? But do we see Red Skull?
In the very first Captain America.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, really?
Winter's Bone, or what was the Captain America? Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier, I think.
That's a great
you and
movie.
Scott, and I was laughing.
Yeah, that's the point.
I know, that's good. Now you want to get to
Yeah,
this?
because I'm running out of stuff.
Vikings 9-2, Atlanta 7-4.
Yeah.
Collision course for playoff teams. Too tough a question to start off.
No, I don't think so. The thing about the Minnesota Vikings that I like is I spent some time in the locker room last week talking to some of these guys. It's the most laid-back atmosphere I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, and I would assume like New England, from what I've heard from people that I've talked to, it's like boarding school.
Yeah.
Everything is, I mean, you even saw Gronk.
Machines, they just...
Gronk was like, I can't talk about our celebrations.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. I think this game will prove one thing, and I think it will prove that the Minnesota Vikings are a more superior team than a lot of people.
Ooh, nice.
Because the thing about the Atlanta that's good is their
what?
offense. But the Minnesota Vikings defense is so good.
Yeah.
You put Rhodes on Julio Jones, that might be a thing. And as a couple of the people, like Ben Lieber said, and I didn't think about this, what makes Atlanta so good is they drop back and they throw it down the field.
Right.
That takes time. It takes time to set up. And Matt Ryan likes to set up, take a couple steps, and throw it downfield.
He has to stay in the pocket.
Right, he has
He's
to stay in
not
the
mobile.
pocket, and that takes time. It's not a good thing to do against a defense that Mike Zimmer, the plan he has cooked up since last Friday, that he'll come up with to beat this team.
Pressure plus coverage.
Pressure
and
plus
Xavier
the
Rhodes.
coverage, plus
Well,
he'll roll Harrison over on. They'll take. I would bet Julio Jones will have under 50 yards.
Okay. Predictors.
They'll take him out of the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. We'll do our picks at the end of the game, but
Okay.
I can obviously, end of the show, I can tell where you're leaning, so you'll get first pick there. Case Keenum, NFC Offensive Player of the Month, 71.1% completion rate, 866 yards, 7 throwing TDs, he ran one in, and 2 interceptions.
Case Keenum's great, and he plays reckless. He's got that
Little bit of
the
gunslinger,
Yeah,
as you
he's
wanna
got
say,
that.
yeah.
But that pass he threw a week, 2 Thursdays ago against Detroit, that touchdown he threw to Kyle Rudolph, unbelievable.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to get hit. He stands in the pocket and throws a perfect pass. I mean, that was perfectly thrown to Kyle
To your
Rudolph.
A-list buddy.
To my golfing buddy.
Yeah.
And
He pays
was
for
just
everything,
dominant.
right?
Well, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. He
What a
has
nice
to.
guy.
I work radio. But I can't even afford clothes that fit.
That's the only shirt that you have right now.
But
you're going
Case
to Las
Keenum,
Vegas.
duh. Case Keenum's wonderful, and the thing about the Mike Zimmer relationship with him, and the whole thing about like, I'm not going to see our quarterback is.
Weekly evaluations.
He lucked into that. He lucked into that, meaning that he got to play with it for a while, but now
sure.
we can go with well, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a play right out of Bill Parcells' book.
Yeah, he's just
but
being
I think
coy.
He lucked into it because it works now.
Yeah.
You'd be senile to take him out of the game.
You know-
even if he has a bad game, even if he
Right.
plays bad against Atlanta, he's earned the right to be the quarterback for the rest of the season. And I
Absolutely.
think he'll be the future quarterback of this team.
Well, that's the contract.
Yeah.
Free agent after this year.
Yeah.
So is Teddy. That's why the argument for the last month has been we want to see some of Teddy. Is he healthy?
Yeah.
Is he our future, or is Case our
I think
future?
it's Case Keenum.
Right now,
He's hot.
Right now, you'd have to say it.
He takes them to an NFC Championship game, or
even a 1 or a 2 when we get the
He
bye.
takes them to the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm just saying though.
Sure, find some wood and.
But no, I'm just saying they have a very good shot with that defense. They're 9-2. Even if they lose this week or next week against Carolina,
Or both.
even if they lose both,
Yeah.
they'll still finish 12-4.
I know,
which would get them.
Bengals, Packers, Bears
Right,
last 3
all
weeks,
those are all wins,
winnable.
all winnable. Especially when Tampa beats Green Bay today and Rodgers just mails it in. They will
See,
be.
okay,
I think they'll
that's
be the
later
2
in the
seed.
show, but we probably killed
Right,
it because
well,
we were
yeah.
talking about too much other stuff.
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna
your
get your.
fault.
I was gonna. Xfinity. Aaron Rodgers. I was gonna get him in later. Let's all the other stuff we talked about. Trick plays. That seems to be something that Atlanta with Mohamed Sanu. Is that something we should be nervous about, or do you think Zimmer's already got? He knows what's coming.
No, and I think trick plays goes back to the same thing I said about their ability to throw the ball downfield.
Takes
trick
time to
plays
develop.
take time,
And we'll see
and
them
you're
coming.
not going to have it.
As soon as they do the Wildcat, they'll.
Yeah, and they've had and every second and every minute counts. I mean, they probably took last Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, but Mike Zimmer, wherever he went, this means a ton to him.
Yeah.
They're going to slow it down, and they'll do something to find these trick plays. Trick plays will work won't work because they take time to develop, and this is a fast-paced defense that gets after the quarterback.
Let's be positive purple here. Adam Thielen, 4th in overall total receptions in the NFL, 3rd in yards. The last time the Vikings' entire season had a top 5 receiver, Randy Moss, 2003. Coming into this year, do you think anybody, no NFL pundit, no sports talk radio, no stay-at-home dad, none of us thought that Adam Thielen, we wouldn't even think that this was his team. We would have thought it was Stephon Diggs, or maybe even Jarius Wright, Laquan Treadwell, Floyd.
Yeah.
Thielen was just there.
He's just there.
He is a stud.
He's unbelievable. Yeah. He runs great routes. He's a great human being. He's a great role model. And the thing about him my two favorite stories about him that I bring up is, I remember being at that walk-on practice where they just needed a body. They just needed a body to catch balls, and he was unbelievable. And then I remember when I was the auctioneer for a fantasy draft. He was taken for $1 this year for $1 because you're like, they got Michael Floyd, they've got Laquan Treadwell, they've got Jarius Wright, and they've got Stephon Diggs. He'll be the 3rd, 4th guy.
Maybe might not even make the team. Yeah.
Now he's the leading vote getter. When we taped this show, he was the leading vote getter for wide receiver in the NFC.
Pro Bowl, correct?
Yeah, for the Pro Bowl, yes.
Wonderful. I'm surprised. It's not that it's getting stale, so don't hear me wrong, but when you said, I remember I was there, the Fox, they just have it on standby for the Minnesota State Mankato, the picture of him wearing the Randy Moss.
Well, and the
people
NFL
even on Twitter are like,
that. It gets old because
he's a stud.
He's just
Let's
good.
realize he's a stud.
And good for me, I was with him a couple days ago.
Oh, is he an A-list buddy?
He is. And
really?
He's his best friend from DL was with us. He's a better golfer than he is a football player.
Really?
And basketball. He was better in high school at basketball.
That was part of the story, too, in Minnesota State Mankato.
He's a great dude, too. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. I'm proud of him.
I think
and I can say
the state of Minnesota,
way older than he is.
Yeah, we both are.
Yeah.
The state of Minnesota absolutely adores him.
Adores him.
And you know how Minnesota, we love our own. The fact that he's on this team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, throw out the injury to Delvin Cook.
He's the best route runner in the NFL.
They just love, he is like the face.
Think about it. Him and Antonio Brown are the 2 best wide receivers yard-wise in the NFL.
That's crazy.
And Antonio Brown's an MVP candidate.
Cool.
Just saying.
Nice
of you to care.
Do you want to talk more Vikings, or should we just say...
Talk about whatever.
You know what? We've taken enough time. I think we're going to move on to Todd's Sports Machine. But first, we got to say, I know where you're leaning with your picks. I can tell
What's Todd's Sports Machine?
Todd's Sports Machine, it's one of our favorite segments. But let me do we got to pay the bills here first. So you're going to pick the Vikings. If you want to make your picks, come here to Mystic Lake Sunday morning, 7 a.m. to 11:45. You can
what time will that be?
Picks, 7 a.m. to 11:45. You can come here. You could watch. They probably put the CW on one of the TVs there at the bar. You can watch our show. Yeah, CW. And make your picks. You could win up to $1,000 or $5,000 free slot play. It's a progressive pot. Come here, and when there's a home game, a progressive pot.
Oh,
your mind is going somewhere else, back to your high school days. Also, complimentary bus rides to the bank, home games.
Really?
Mystic Lake has the complimentary bus service. So come here, make your picks, hop on the bus.
What a great deal.
Free slot play.
And a ride? You kidding?
You get a ride.
Rides are the best.
I feel like you need a ride somewhere right now.
I'm fine.
Are you okay?
I'm not going to lie to you, I'm super tired.
This is one of our best shows ever.
Yeah,
and
I'm really tired.
Like
I'm really tired. I didn't get a nap today.
Yeah, you're out.
I actually had to work.
You probably
today.
didn't eat properly.
No, I always eat properly.
Do you? I can tell. Look at that. Weight loss. Good for you.
Yeah, no, I eat properly, but I do look like something out of the Thriller music video.
That's reaching back. I don't know if a lot of our viewers would get that. What? Hey. So this is Todd's Sports Machine Elite Edition.
Okay.
Now the Gophers football season is over. You're free to say whatever you want on our TV show. I will keep you within...
Okay.
You're the caged bear that I will poke a little bit to have fun with, but I will keep you caged, so don't feel scared. Let's start with Gophers men's basketball.
Yeah.
They lost to number 10 Miami, 7-1 on the year right now. Your thoughts? It was a big game at the barn, and it seemed like they came out flat.
They came out, well, they had to start that.
Isaiah
Washington at point guard. He looked raw. He looked like he wanted to, as the kids say, show up on I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's national
Yeah.
ESPN.
too, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a big deal. ACC Big
And
Ten
he shot,
Challenge.
I think, 1 for 10 to
He was
start the
horrible.
game, and he looked
He just
bad.
looked like he was pushing.
Dupree
and pressuring.
McBrayer
was hurt, right?
Keep it simple. He's got some infection that he caught from somebody at your
Rosie.
station, maybe.
Probably Rosie.
Do you, if he would have been there, you think they win?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And there are a lot of people who, and the thing about college basketball, what makes it great, is you can stumble down the stretch, you can stumble
sure.
in the middle of the year, you can stumble towar's the end.
You get to March.
As long as you can play well, your best basketball in March. Plus,
Best
there are a
month of the
lot
year.
of people who think they are an Elite Eight to Final Four to a possible dark horse national championship.
I don't know if you
team.
can say dark horse when they're rated. If you're rated in the top 16,
Yeah, but they're not.
You're not like, oh, nobody's.
But if
they're
you
not.
asked
They're no
every
George Mason.
But if you asked every pundit, none of them would bring up Minnesota. They got everything you need. They got
Flyover
bigs,
country.
and they've got guard
Defense.
play, and that's what you need to win the whole kit and caboodle.
I like it. Very
All right.
nice. Gophers football.
Yeah.
Now that the season's done, PJ Fleck, 5-7 on the year, 2-7 in the Big Ten. There were quotes in the paper this last week. He still said they're winning at everything in the culture. They're winning basically everything that he wants to win other than the games.
Okay.
Your thoughts? I don't want to say that he compared himself to Barry Alvarez, but he brings up Barry Alvarez in Wisconsin, the Badgers, and before they became a culture of winning, they had bad years. And Barry Alvarez, I think his first year, they only had 1 win. And so he uses him as an example.
Sure.
That's not necessarily to say he's comparing himself, but he's like, look at what they did. That's what I'm trying to do. We're winning. We're elite. Your thoughts on that 5-win season?
I always say this as like a prerequisite, but he's not recruiting me. He's
Yeah,
not recruiting you.
I get it.
It works.
But our butts
It
would be the
works,
ones in the
sure,
seats paying
it works
for his
the
job.
kids, and it's just my opinion. I'm sure he's the nicest guy ever. I'm sure kids love playing for him.
He might be,
Maybe.
I know.
They're leaving.
Yeah, well, that's another point.
But from my standpoint, it looks like everything he does is about him.
Yeah.
He's the chest bumping, the running up and
three-quarter
down the
zip, the
field.
run.
I'm sure he's a great coach. and
Row the
they
boats,
love him. They do.
patents.
The kids that he's recruited, keyword that he's recruited, love it. They love that stuff. Kids love the rah-rah.
Well, he's like my
18,
age,
17,
but he's
right.
like an 18-year-old,
Right,
is what
which
it seems like.
That's who he's recruiting, so that works.
Okay.
But some of it just, when you're losing, it's like a coach who's too aggressive and too mean. If you're winning, the coach can do just about anything. That's legal, and you're like, whatever. Once you're losing, those, for lack of a better term, those warts come out, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Like, running up and down,
Yeah.
cool. But they're not doing it in Florida. They're not
Yeah.
doing it in Ohio. I mean, they're not running. What's
Sure.
the head? Harbaugh isn't running up and down the field.
If anybody would, it would be Harbaugh,
right.
too, with the
And
glasses.
I mean,
he's-
it may work, but it doesn't
Yeah.
work. It's okay
Sure.
for the first year, and he calls it year zero.
Which
year
it is-
zero was a disappointment.
Year
They
zero
were
is an
a
insult.
9-win football
That's
team.
They were
It's an
9-4.
insult.
It's an insult to
It's
the
an
kids
excuse.
that were here with
Right,
Kill. That
right.
were here with
It's an
whatever his
excuse.
name, the big fat guy that
And
got
if he
let go.
wins, I'll be the first one to apologize.
Well,
I'll
and
be the
he might
first
win
one.
someday, but I'm saying this year.
He may.
This year's in the
I don't
history
think it'll
books.
be
We can
here.
talk about it now.
I don't think it'll be here.
Demery Croft leaving. He said that door kicking thing.
Yeah, I don't
5
know
other
about
players
that.
have transferred.
And
You're
now,
saying those aren't his guys.
But the PJs, I'll stand
Are you
up
going to
for
give him credit? Okay.
They were Clay's guys and Kill's guys. They're not PJ's guys.
Yeah.
The guys
But
he's
wasn't he
recruited,
insulting them from the get-go when he says,
Sure.
I'm coming in, and
right. And then
year
the
zero,
other, the
I
other
have nothing
problem,
to do with
the small
this?
problem I have with him is in that last game against Wisconsin, it looked like Wisconsin was you and Minnesota was me. Wisconsin did all the work. Minnesota looked like they just showed up. I mean, they
Yeah.
had no plan.
That's
And
a very
then
nice comparison. I
The
appreciate that.
fact that you don't put Rhoda in
Yeah.
is so dumb. You talked him back into coming in when technically he could have made some money and started a life, a career.
Sure.
Because he's not playing in the NFL
Nope.
unless every other quarterback
Started the
that's ever
season
played
here, great
dies.
story.
But you could have let him
very
start a
odd.
career. Now you don't even put him in.
Yeah, and you made him stick
Come
around.
on. Come on. You should have put him in put him in the second half. I don't know.
Last Gopher football thing
But
I'll
if they
talk
win,
about.
I'm on board.
All right.
Right now I'm not.
So, are you on board with Vic Viramontes? It's a fun name.
No.
Have you seen Vic? Vic
No, I'm not
Viramontes,
on
I would say,
board.
was probably some
Well,
actor
and
you've seen in
A couple
one
of
of your-
guys are like, have you seen his highlight tape?
Yeah,
It's his
and you're-
highlight tape.
yeah.
I have a highlight tape. It's
sure.
one block. It looks great. It's a highlight tape.
Your highlight tape is this show every week.
right.
You show this
I'm
to
sure
friends
he'll
and you're
be
like,
great,
this is the best.
But as I said, I'm just a crotchety 35-year-old single lonely man who deflects everything else onto other people. I'm sure he's a great kid. I hope he plays well, because it would be great that they don't just roll over to Wisconsin every year.
And get
But he said when he
smashed.
first came, I'm not going to take JUCO kids.
And what did he do?
Right.
Took a JUCO kid.
Right.
Top rated, by the way, JUCO
Which is
quarterback.
fine, great. I hope he's good. I hope that
so
kid has
too.
a huge future.
Then we'll cheer for him.
And I hope the whole team does good. But right now, not good.
Do you want to talk Wild and Wolves, or do you want to skip?
Talk whatever you want.
let's,
we still in George Michael's sports
we're in,
ride or
we're
whatever?
in Todd's sports machine. It's
That's
got the
made up.
explosion. Scott made this great animation. You should watch the show sometime. It's really good.
Who's Scott?
Scott's our cameraman right there. Sound guy,
We're
does the
recording
editing. Yeah.
We're recording this on an iPhone. You did do acid in the 80s. There's no one out there. What are
The
you, Willy
80s,
Wonka?
wouldn't it be current? Willy Wonka's on TV tonight.
Yeah,
or,
he's a serial
Thursday night.
murderer.
Yeah. I'm sure you're going to watch that.
No, I'll
when you
be
get
in
home
bed.
because you'll be trying to
I'll
go to
be
bed
sleeping.
and you won't
Yeah.
be able to.
Yeah.
All right. Wild, do you even want to talk about them, or are they so much of a dumpster fire that you say win
just-
and then we'll talk about them?
I-
They are doing so terrible right now.
They use the excuse of this, this injury, that injury. What if they're just not a good team?
Yeah, they might be falling apart.
Maybe
Easy.
they're just not a good team.
All right, let's move on from them. Wolves, your favorite, another A-lister.
Yeah, Carl Anthony Towns. Yeah,
They had that ugly loss at home to Washington.
Hideous.
Then they went on the road, they won.
they lose if Anthony
Davis.
Davis doesn't go meat sauce
Yeah.
and initials on
Yeah,
it.
that was,
he went
first
nuts.
time in his career, and he's
nuts.
Yeah.
Do you think he had like a date?
I don't know.
The whole sequence.
didn't even
he
see the
comes
whole-
down the field.
The field.
He
Is he
comes
playing
down the
football?
court. He gets an awful charge called on him
Yeah, so bad
against
call.
Carl Anthony Towns, which was, they
Bad call,
gave
you
him
think?
the call.
Sure.
They called a charge on Towns. They go back down the court, and he claims that they're like getting underneath him when he's trying to go up towards the basket. So he starts screaming,
And then-
he gets a technical. He comes back down.
And Maurer
He goes
just
up, and Maurer tossed him.
said,
He
"You're gone."
went nuts.
Cussing.
And everybody
I think cursing is the word he used.
John Krasinski tweeted, "It's really bad when a Boogie Cousins is stopping you."
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that would be like me saying, "You overreacted, man."
Yeah,
Like,
tone it down a
right?
notch.
Yeah, it's just a game. Like,
Yeah.
that would. It's like me
Don't go all
telling-
meat
right,
sauce on it.
Right, he went meat sauce. He freaked out.
I love you're so self-aware. It's
course.
making this
Yeah,
so
you
much
have to.
funnier.
You
I
have to
love
be,
it.
yeah.
See, when you used to
It's
just
all
be
a
the,
bit. Nah,
hey,
who
I
cares?
just have to do this, and it's very funny. But now when you're self-aware, you can joke with
No,
yourself.
I'm
even
I'm a human disaster.
Oh, you have reached
Right.
a great
I'm a
level.
6-year-old who's 35 and hideous.
Yeah, but you know what? The 6-year-old, the part that you mentioned on Twitter, the cereal for
I had cereal while
you
I
know
was
how many
tweeting
people? I
that.
bet Todd does
I
that all the
love
time. He's
cereal.
probably got cereal sitting in his. He's not.
Yeah,
he's
I've
like,
had cereal
Who
with
doesn't
Todd.
have cereal?
Yeah, it was the
Cereal-
next day. It was like a weird, like,
Cereal with
do
Todd?
I leave? Do I stay?
It was like the morning on cable guy
it
with
was like-
he's
yeah.
making you scramble eggs and
Yeah, yeah, it's so good.
nice.
I got
Cable
this
guy
time, you got
reference.
next
I love
time?
it.
Yeah. What do you mean? I got this time. You got
Yeah.
next time.
See, here
She
we-
was a working girl. You think chicks like that hang out with guys like us? Get
Nice.
out. It's brilliant.
It is a great movie.
It's so underrated.
I could not agree more.
It's
That
so
movie,
the
jousting scene at medieval times
oh,
with
we went
the silence
there.
of
we
the
went
lambs.
there, yeah. And when
Jim
he stands
Carrey.
up and goes, "Let the games begin," it's genius. I
Hey,
love that movie.
We are so off the rails on
Yeah,
this
who
show, but I don't
cares?
care. We're
Yeah.
going there. Jim Carrey, the Netflix special.
I've seen it.
Did you watch?
Have you seen it?
I did see it. I
think he's insane.
well, see,
I also
method
Speaking
acting.
of that,
Okay, what are you grabbing at? Watch
No.
out. Oh,
this-
be ready to edit this,
no,
Scotty.
this is nothing to edit.
Have the
This
button
means
ready.
a lot. Where is it? So my favorite part of that whole thing, I wrote it down. I rewound and wrote it down because I think it's a great scene, and it talks about everybody who's ever done comedy and everybody who
Sure, which you have done
which
stand
I
up.
do. And
Absolutely.
this
show.
I
For
maybe
large part.
teared up when he first said this. He
Okay.
says at some point when you create yourself to make it, you're going to have to let that creation go and take a chance on being loved or hated for who you really are. Or you're going to have to kill who you really are and fall into a grave grasping onto a character that you never were. That's exactly what Andy Kaufman was. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
brilliant. I mean,
That's-
I love that. And I went back and wrote that down. And
That
I
is a
saved
great
it in my
quote.
phone. It's a brilliant, because
Well,
that's who he is.
And Jim Carrey, for those at home, if you Netflix,
After
watch it.
you watch this.
After you watch our show, watch that, and then watch the Vikings win. It is awesome because it's about
Oh,
Man
yeah.
on the Moon when he was playing Andy Kaufman.
And they didn't want it released because he never breaks character, and the
Oh,
Tony
my goodness.
Clifton. It's so good.
There were some parts that were odd.
Well, when he was Andy Kaufman with his mom and dad.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And the daughter.
The daughter's weird too.
Well, and when at the end of spoiler alert, Andy Kaufman, Man
Yeah.
on the Moon, cancer.
And then
when he
he-
was playing the patient in the wheelchair, like not getting, like it was
yeah.
like whoa.
And then when he
But
wouldn't he wouldn't be in the Man on the Moon video with REM because he'd gotten past that.
Something with
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
I think Andy Kaufman's still alive. There's a great book. It's called it's written by the guy that Danny DeVito played.
Okay,
Like
in the movie.
his main,
not Danny DeVito Taxi,
it's
Danny
written by
DeVito
him,
the
and
actor.
he says in the book he thinks he's alive because it's the greatest gag of all time.
And he's the only one who
I
gets
think
it.
he's alive. I'm just telling you. I think he lives in Arizona.
Even if he's not, or if he is, the
Let me
joke is
believe that he's-
hilarious
right,
because it's
right.
Andy Kaufman.
People still-
and he did that. Okay,
People with a lot of time on their
we
hands.
got a few minutes left, but Jim Carrey I thought was amazing in that documentary because of how he approaches it and how
think
serious he
he's-
took it, and what you said, his quote, because he grew up in rough times.
Yeah.
He had a really hard time.
And he basically said, I hate this, and why, you know, look what I've become.
Look at The Mask, Ace Ventura, and then Dumb and
How
Dumber.
about the scene where he says,
The Truman Show?
and then the Eternal Sunshine, and he's
Yes.
like, you're perfect, you're broken, and he goes, we don't film for a year, don't change.
Yes. That
I love
the
that
director,
movie.
the casting
He's
agent, whoever
crying.
said
Right.
that to him,
Right.
that is horrible.
Horrible.
Well, but at the end too,
But
he said
he
what,
also probably lives in a massive house in Malibu and made $25 million a film,
Yeah.
so you can't feel that bad for him, but he's out there.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Jim
He's,
Carrey was the highest paid actor for a while.
Yeah.
He
Like
should
I
have
said,
won
the
an Academy
mid-nineties.
Award for
Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Also a great song.
REM.
Duh.
Yeah. We just totally went off the rails. I'm fine with that. That was our Todd Sports Machine. Jewel, are you a big Jewel fan?
Yeah, Jewel Wales.
Jewel is, she's pretty fine, I think. Jewel's Handmade Holiday Tour, December 16th, 8 p.m. here at the Mystic Showroom. She's going to play some of her 95 debut album, Pieces of You, best-selling album.
When's
She's
that?
Obviously, December 16th, 8 o'clock here at Mystic.
Sweet. I might go to that.
Yeah, we'll get some tickets here. Todd will hook you up just like you did with Thunder from Down Under.
That was our secret. Stop talking about it.
We have 1 minute left. Picks. Now,
Okay.
last 2 weeks, obviously, we had the week off because it was Thanksgiving. We both picked the Vikings both, so we're 2 games up. I'm 8-4 on the year. You are 7-5. You are right on my heels. And
You go first.
I'm picking Vikings. I know you're going to pick them too,
I
but
am
here's
too,
why.
yeah.
Here's my analysis after looking at stats and reading. A little bit of reading. It's fun every once in a while.
No, I'd rather sleep.
Turnovers. I think the Vikings are going to win the turnover game.
Yeah.
We are +4 on the season. Atlanta is -3. They are more likely to turn the ball over. I also think they give up more on the run. I think our defense, our passing defense, all the stuff you were saying, the pressure on Matty Ice in the pocket, they're going to get to him. He's not going to have time to let that stuff develop. Xavier Rhodes is going to shut down Julio Jones. I think that it's going to be the Vikings. I wouldn't say a rout. I would say it's a pretty slow game, but I think they win by 7 or 10 points.
I think Pete Bursich tweeted that the Vikings are 7-0 when they score more than 21 points. And I think they'll put up more than
So that's the
21
threshold.
points. That's the threshold. That defense can hold them down. Devontae Freeman's back.
Concussion. He
Right,
might be nothing.
right,
He might
yeah,
play for one
and
set of downs. And
We'll
then
see.
sit.
I think the Vikings win 31-20.
All right. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks for watching. Go to YouTube. Check us out. We'll see you next week.